When everything comes out, um, I can look at it without having to reach for anything. Hope your week is going well. Mine has been a long one. We, as you can see, if you've seen any of my videos, my wife, hey Spacer, how you doing? My wife was diagnosed with breast cancer uh, in Thanksgiving week, and now yesterday was our first meeting with the surgeon and for the treatment. And boy, did I get a Lord, did I get a um, uh, unbelievable um, lesson in cancer. It is a my God, it's going to be a long haul, but I hope she's okay. We're going to get through it. But man, I just can't. It's just hard. And your mind, as I said, when cancer enters the conversation, everything you do from this point on, it is tied up to that. And there's so many things that have to do in cancer treatment and all that. And the thing about it is, this is with her for the rest of her life. As a lot of people who have reached out to me told me, I mean, it's a process. You just got to stay with the process. So, yeah, I will, James. I'll keep the face. So, I'll keep you updated. Because the thing I'm worried about right now is I'm going to give to you guys what it's going to be like dealing with insurance. Because all the procedures that need to be done prior to surgery and that my wife is setting up right now, I keep thinking in my head, I'm glad I'm employed and have insurance, but um, what happens to those people who don't? What happens to those people who don't have health insurance and have to depend on Medicaid or Medicare? And considering what's going on now, where the Trump administration and his oligarchs have decided that helping poor people or helping anyone is bullshit to eat or have health care. Ah, it's, I just can't think about it. I mean, it's going to be bad enough navigating that, all the co-pays, what they will pay, not pay for, make that tight, make those battles. Um, Trying to stay in the mindset of work because it's always there and it's a hard, it's just something I've got to come to terms with it. I know that sounds selfish because this is my wife's body and she's dealing with it on her terms. But I have to understand this is a fight we have to take together. And I think the hardest thing for both of us was I expected them to we go in, tells us what's going on. Okay, surgery is in 2 weeks, and that's it. Hello. No, don't work like that. So the best thing I can say, it's the best worst case scenario. It is a slow moving cancer with a low grade. And if you know, you know. So um, I'll keep you updated as I manage my way through the medical world. And I think that'll be good for everybody. All righty. Well, here we go. I wonder what's going on today or been the last 2 weeks. It's been a shit show. And what's making it worse now? So tonight they're reporting that Pete Hegseth ordered another hit on another boat in the Caribbean. I want to make this clear. Everyone who are experts in the drug trade in the world, no, this is not the way that drugs move from any place into the United States. Oh, Spacer, sorry about your family member. I hope it goes well for them. I see it. If you knows it doesn't go like that. Who is right in all the years of drug trade? And let's be honest, those of us who watched Miami Vice in the 80s, how did they do it? Wasn't fishing boats. It's an ignorant thing. They're using that as an excuse because Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth see the military as a toy to be used. They don't respect the military. If they did, the young lady who got killed, who was murdered, the National Guardsman, why aren't the flags at half staff for her? They were for Charlie Kirk, but not for her because, as Trump has always said, she's a sucker and a loser. How dare she join the military? How dare she serve her country? She was 19. All right. But Trump made it about himself, as usual. It's always as usual. And you could see things are starting to get worse and worse out of the Trump administration, especially now that Republicans are starting to turn on him. Earlier in November, when we had those elections, that was really a shock to a lot of Republicans. Now, the Tennessee election basically put everything back to normal, but I, who live in Georgia, in the city of Roswell, which is in Fulton County, and let me make this clear, that is not a small town. It's a good-sized town in Fulton County, one of the most populous counties in Georgia. So a Democrat unseated a Republican incumbent. It was a runout because in Georgia, if you don't get 51% of the vote in the first election, do a runoff between the two highest vote getters. It was designed to keep people of color out of office, but it's kind of carried on. But here, she beat him 58 to 42%. She kicked his ass. And that guy was a Brian Kemp disciple. So the one thing I will push back is that was not, I don't take anything from the Tennessee election other than it was a loss. That it confirmed that Tennessee voters are in the head. They are. All they want to hear is about the hate. That guy they put in office isn't going to do a freaking thing for him, only for Trump. That's the thing that people are beginning to realize. As congressmen, their constituents are coming to them. How are you going to help me? But Trump is telling them, you've got to take care of me first. And that's where the pushbacks are coming along. Spacer, Trump part unknown drug trafficker who got off watching people take to the drugs. So yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. He pardoned the former Honduran president who was in bed with all the cartels, including El Chapo, made millions of dollars, but he pardoned him. Why? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to change the election in Honduras. And why the fuck do we care? And then Trump pardoned a Democrat who was convicted of bribery or something. His reasoning, because it happened in the Biden administration. Again, they don't govern, they continue to campaign. And everything is Biden's fault. The economy is Biden's fault. What happened to the two National Guardsmen is Biden's fault. Watching Kristi Noem on last Sunday try to explain vetting, but the vetting was done, if it was done under the Biden administration, but you approved the asylum in April, if you didn't like what you see from the vetting, why did you approve the asylum? And she just went on and on, well, it's Biden's fault. The economy, well, it's Biden's fault. We're trying to fix it. No, you're not. You know, under Biden, there was job growth. There was job growth under Biden. There was infrastructure everywhere. Money is being spent putting back into the country. And as soon as Trump became president, they stopped all that. All that money that was designated to help the country disappeared. Where is it? I don't know. We could probably later on when they do a forensic audit of the Trump administration, they'll find out that a lot of people took it. Maybe a lot of people will go to jail. But there's there was an article in the Guardian about Appalachia and how they're suffering under the Trump administration. And I don't know if you saw my video, but Park Rose um, was talking about it and the suffering, and that, but 85% of them voted for Trump. And my remark is, yeah, they voted for hate. Let's be clear, okay? Trump is trying to get rid of SNAP for blue states. Fuck that information thing. They already have the information, okay? They already have the information they need. This is just a bullshit way of feeding his base, because the reason that they really believe is that black and brown people in blue states or in cities like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles take away stuff from them. So they want their SNAP, they want their disability, they want their Medicaid, but they want to take it from the colored people. And this is an idea to feed them. The only problem is it doesn't work like that. A lot of people are seeing their rural hospitals closed. Come next year, they're not going to have any kind of health care. And the ACA is going to die. Why? Because Republicans want to kill Obamacare. Simple as that. They don't give a shit how it's going to affect everyone. They just want to say, we finally killed it after over a decade. We killed it. We got it. What's your replacement? We don't care. We killed it. Who knows? Let's take a look here. Yes, this is Johnny. Trump administration is trying to stop the immigration of a lot of black. He did that brown countries. He did that in the first administration. Shithole countries. It just wants to be. Look, in the Times, there's a good opinion piece from Ilhan Omar that he has basically gone after her hard because it's old school. He's not going to go after AOC anymore because AOC will eat him alive. But he's going after the Somali community that she's part of in Minnesota. Now, the Somali community has a burden to bear like my community. 29% of Latinos voted for Trump. I've seen Latino ICE agents. It makes me ill. It really does to see those guys like they're part of something. What you're going to be part of is when they turn on you, you dumbasses. But what's going on in Minnesota, these guys supported Trump. I remember the video just for the election. Why? I don't know. Don't give me the Palestine thing. Okay. What it was like in Appalachia, why they're suffering and why these people are about to become basically rounded up in droves. And the same thing with Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan, is simple. You guys did not want to vote for a black woman for president. I don't want to hear any political analysis. I don't want to hear about, well, she did that, or she said that. No. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay. It is simple. It was, you saw a woman, you saw a black woman, and you ain't going to do it. Simple as that. And now you're paying the price. All right. Do I like what they're about to do? No. Because it's going to be ugly, it's going to be chaotic, and it's going to be cruel and brutal. We've seen that already. All right. We have people in concentration camps in the United States. A concentration camp. Okay. They are being tortured. Um, Reports out of the so-called alligator Alcatraz of torture and food deprivation is sick. Why? This is a detainment. Why are you treating them like that? Because they're run by private prisons and they're people they're hired of white supremacists and white supremacists and and basically sadistic. You could see it, and that's sad. And apparently, ICE has arrested 5,000 people in Tennessee, and there's a reporting in the Times again that very few people with all these high-profile arrests are not criminals. This is about picking up brown people. Shit, they pulled a white woman out of her car today, who kept saying, "Hey, I'm an American citizen with scrubs and red hair." And she gave an ID. It wasn't good enough, and then they took her away. This is about collecting heads. And oh, let me read this from Spacer. Gave a speech at APAC dinner. Apparently, she said young people need concerned about Israel conflict. I want to ask as a Jen, who the hell do you think you are, old hag? She was taken from the beginning to be nominated in 2016. Sanders would have crushed Trump. Yeah, well, I don't know on that. It'd probably been closer, man on man. But if she's given APAC dinner, that tells you, again, corporate Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer. APAC has to be controlled. Okay. They have taken the anti-Semitism message and used it to ruin the Congress and money. I mean, the whole thing that about Zoran Mondani and the Defamation League setting up a phone call in case he does stuff to him is bullshit. Okay. So, bear with me 1 second. I gotta, my wife's answering a question about treatments. Mm. So, so here we are. So with this mess, yeah, AIPAC is called. I mean, the Israeli, again, anything we say about Israel, they pervert. It's not about the Israeli people. It's about the government and a man determined to stay out of jail. If it means killing a few thousand people, a genocide, which is sad considering how Israel came to existence. So the biggest thing we're seeing right now is the push on ICE, the desperation of the Trump administration to keep their people's eyes away from Epstein. Maybe you guys know, I guess there was something that came out of the Epstein estate about pictures or something about tying Trump to the island some more. If you know, make a note in the comments. I would appreciate it. But it looks like that's going to take away, let's say Jeff Duncan's doing well in his primaries. I'm going to solve Keisha Bottoms. You're talking about on the Democratic side. Yeah. You know why? I don't trust Jeff Duncan. He's a Republican. And the only thing he's using is that he told Trump to go F off during the 2020 election. I don't trust him. Nice of you to come on our side, but I know you're doing this because you're trying to get an office that you can't win on the Republican side because what you did against Trump in 2020. Okay. So I would say if that's Keisha Bottoms, I'm not aware of. I will look her up after this. But if anyone but Jeff Duncan. Okay. That being said, on the Republican side, and Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks she's going to run for governor and win, no. I'll sell you some great home insurance in Florida before that happens. So, oh, the former mayor of Atlanta. Yeah, that might work, might not work. Atlanta mayors have a lot of baggage attached to them. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, no, Jeff Duncan can't do it. He won't. And I'll guarantee you, if he loses the primary, he'll jump on the back to the Republican side. Because for these guys, it's about power. It's not about serving Georgia. But Georgia is turning purple, whether they like it or not. People here in Georgia are not down with the Trump Act or the tariffs. It's not working. So, and a lot of people, let's face it, I'm from somewhere else. I'm from Los Angeles. I've been here for 20 years. So I'm going to bring my views, not this old Southern bullshit. And business is still, Atlanta's still a business hub and money talks. And after that whole Hyundai thing that blew up in their face, that's going well. I mean, the culture wars are failing. The culture wars are failing. They keep trying. They're going to keep going with the culture wars. I mean, the immigration thing, trans, all of it, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because people don't want to hear that. Because it's about now, and to use James Carver old term, it's about the economy, stupid. And you guys got sold a bull of goods, thinking that Trump would wave his magic fat fingers and everything would vanish, and it didn't. And things are less affordable and less available, and people are losing their jobs in droves. He is not creating jobs. He has lost jobs. Now, they're trying to keep it down by keeping the Bureau of Labor Statistics quiet, but they forgot about the private sector that keeps track of it too. ADP is the biggest payroller, and they said they lost 32,000 private sector jobs in November when they said they were going, and they said that they said they were going to go, they were going to go into have 40,000 plus jobs. Nope. That's 32,000 just in the month of November. You have to add in all the other jobs that were lost and layoffs that are scheduled to happen next month. FedEx is laying off. They're closing a facility. UPS is going to lay off. GM has already laid off people. So it's going to be an unbelievable shit show come January because he's going to have to deal with it. And how does he deal with it? How does Trump deal with it? By saying that affordability is a Democratic hoax. It's just like COVID. COVID will go away. It's all fake. That's what he lives in, this fantasy world, and the people that give it to him. So I don't know. Spacer, Ohio, it could be the next Georgia. We have Dwayne right now. Maybe it was Mitch McConnell in Ohio. We see Ramaswamy plan for childcare as a joke. Who save money on childcare in school. Goes from 8 to 3. Let's make underpaid teachers longer. Keep the kids in school. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to stay longer in school and you're not going to pay me that much. Now, I don't know. Ohio's a lost cause. It might be like Kentucky. They just want to do everything here. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I have to respond to the line. She's trying to schedule the MRIs and everything she needs, and dates with the holidays are a bitch. and she's trying to see what's going to happen. Um, Give me 1 second. Okay, my apologies, y'all. Thank you for being patient with me. This was a personal thing, but yeah. So and so now we've got an economic time bomb about to explode, and a man who's not going to deal with it. And add to it, the Republicans are determined to kill healthcare. Whoo, man, it's going to be a perfect storm of disaster. Now, one good thing that's going on. Um, all right, so here we go. Pete Haskell is in a shitload of trouble. I want to address this because it's a sign of things changing, even though they're fighting to the bitter end. Okay. When Pete Haskell is hated, Pete Haskell is hated by the Pentagon. All the people in there hate him. A lot of former officers they fired, trust me, they have people in the Pentagon. All right. That's why you're seeing and hearing leaks come out. All that. That's why you're seeing leaks come out all the time. It's because the Washington Post getting that story came from the Pentagon, where they had 7 sources confirming that Hesketh ordered the second attack on survivors to kill them. Okay. I want to make this clear on all what's going on. These attacks on the boats themselves are illegal. Are illegal. Why? Because there's no true evidence to drug boats. This is their fantasy head working out. That's the reason. This is their fantasy working out because if you're going to go after drug boats, you tell me you cannot send um, a fast boat, a fast boat with Marines to stop the boat, search it, and see if it has drugs on it. I mean, that's dumb. Then you have your proof, but then you don't kill people. Um, you don't kill people. It's because there are no weapons on there. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, you guys didn't sign up for this, did you? Sorry about that. Okay. Back to what we're saying. Because that's the easiest thing. And if you found drugs, then you could put it out to the world and show that Venezuela was doing that. Yeah, the AI bubble. AI is another debate that I'm going to get to in a minute. Um, so they went ahead, but they went ahead and did it easy because they want a big explosion. Remember, we're dealing with a man who's a child. That South Park bit on Pete Hesketh, I would say it's parody, but it's too close to the truth. It really is. That's the man's personality, period. Um, and it is, it's sad because it takes away the honor and respect the United States military has had across the world. Just indiscriminately bombing fishing boats is ignorant. And then killing survivors is even more scary. But here's where it gets really interesting. The original, before everything started, the head of the South Command, a gentleman named Halsey, palsy. He he resigned in September suddenly and retired. Why? Well, it's coming out, and he's going to testify to Congress that when he got the orders, he got the orders to do the orders for his command, what the deployment orders. He saw they wouldn't go after fishing boats or any boats they deemed to be drug targets without confirming that there were drugs. He asked for a meeting in Hesketh and said, "Look, this could be problems because we need to know we could commit murder." And Hesketh being the little bitch that he is, I'm in charge type of guy. You know, I've seen those guys. They run McDonald's. You know that guy. Used to work for him. I've worked for them. You've worked for them. Failures and everything. They get a little bit of power and they freak out. And he told a man, an admiral, a flag officer, you to remind him of your sworn duty. And he looked at Heskin and said, "For 40 years, I've been a member of the Navy, and I've never taken an illegal order, never performed an illegal order, and not taking one now." And that's when he resigned. Then they put Bradley in, and that's when Bradley, you got your promotion, dude. You're trying to throw you under the bus, and for some reason, you want to protect him. Okay, good luck with that. Things are piling up on Hesketh. He's not going to get out of this. Okay, items of impeachment have already been filed. And here's the thing: there are members of Congress that hate him. Not only hate, not it's just not hating him; they hate the administration for treating him like like little dogs. That Mike Mike Johnson has made him that. So now they're looking for payback, and Pete Hesketh's going to be it. I'm telling you, he is going to get impeached just on general principle. And give me 1 minute. You guys are going to really patient on me. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, this is going to be a beautiful one. Sorry about that. Um, it's kind of weird because there's so much things and we want to get it done early. She just want to do it on top of the holidays. That one of the dates was the 24th. She said, "Oh hell no!" So we're working it right now. Of course, she's doing it. Listen to this. Um, yeah, Sabrina Carpenter. I think it was someone else. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. Ooh, I didn't expect this, and I apologize about this. When you do another live introduction, but I think they're going to toss him under the bus. I'll be the first to go. And he has to go. He's incompetent. He just blew up another bus and another boat tonight, and that was just a middle finger to America. That's just basically I do what I want because I'm the Secretary of Defense. No, I'm not going to call him the Secretary of War. That's what losers do. He's a loser. He's always been a loser. Okay, and he always will be a loser. And after history will remember him as the worst, not only as the worst Secretary of Defense ever, but as a fucking war criminal. Simple as that. He's not going to win. And if Bradley wants to fall on his sword, 1 second here. And if Bradley wants to fall on the sword and a bunch of other military people want to have his back, that's not going to be good for them either. Because the illegal orders follow the chain of command. And people are going to jail or court martial. And I want to make this clear. I want to talk because that's going to happen. And that's the good thing. We're seeing Congress turn on Trump. It's going to get worse. The bigotry and the hate are out because that's all he's got left. That's all the Republican Party have left. Shit, someone put in a bill to get rid of dual citizenship. It's bullshit. But that's all they got. That's all they have left because the economy's not working. It's all the wheels coming off the bus. Hence, resignation are happening. No, Nancy Mace is not going to resign. She's a drama queen. And she saw Marjorie Taylor Greene getting all the accolades. She needs to get in on the action. Trust me, she's not going anywhere. Elise Stefanik going after Mike Johnson is because she fucked herself with the governorship of New York. And what she wants to do is maybe slide in as call for a vote and slide in the Speaker of the House, like it's going to be a event. What do you think about the push, like say India wants to ask, saying incorporate rural and West Virginia to join their states? I saw something about asking the Supreme Court the constitutional gerrymandering in states of senators. Good luck. Good luck. You can't just redraw it. The states of West Virginia cannot go, yeah, that's mine now. Indiana, that's mine now. Nah, not going to work. That's just bullshit. That's just a stretch because they know they're fucked. Now, let me make this clear. I don't think the gerrymandering is going to work, especially in Texas, because the Supreme Court is going to put out the decision so Texas gerrymandering can stand for the next election. But they may still lose the next election because their message is so unpopular and they gerrymandered through a lot of Hispanics. And I don't think Hispanics are going to vote Republican anymore. Albeit they're hardcore assholes, but I think that's going to cost them. I mean, I think that the trend is we're going to see a tougher fight in the midterms we thought. Okay. But it's trending toward the House turning to the Democrats. That's why they're bailing. Because as the economy gets worse come the turn of the year, as the birds come to roost from all the foreign stuff, Ukraine, Trump. If Trump tries to invade Venezuela, good luck, buddy. Someone said that would be like going to Vietnam. You know how that worked for Johnson in Vietnam, right? It didn't work. And the thing about it is, at least Johnson could sell it as fighting the communists, okay? The Red Menace, the Russians, the Chinese, okay, at the time. Can't sell that. Can't sell it. TikTok video live. Oh, I had to bail because my wife came into the room. But we had to talk. That's why I bailed. I apologize. I didn't tell Mike that, but I had to go. She came in the room. We were talking. So my apologies. So thank you. Sorry about that. But he, yeah, it's not going to, I don't think it's going to go well because a lot of shit's going to be out of control. They're not going to be able to control it. What's going to be a problem too is that they're going to press up ICE and they're going to try to make it more horrid and everything. But I think that's even coming to an end because people are fighting back. Also, they're so desperate for ICE agents that they're hiring anyone. They're hiring people who are literally illiterate. You can't get a job anywhere else. You couldn't get a job at a fucking 7-Eleven, but you can get a job at ICE because they're desperate. All you got to be is a live body and hate everyone of color. Simple. Let's see, Alaska. Yeah, Alaska, the Senate's going to be hard to flip because we're talking about states in general, and Republican voters are still Republican voters, and you still have the independents out there who are dumbasses. So we'll see. I would hope that people will come to the senses and we can flush them out, but we'll see what happens. And you see, when Republicans are threatened, they have a lot of money they can use. I think that Tennessee was kept because a lot of money was spent. A lot of money was spent to keep that red. But we'll see. That's the thing. Like here in Georgia, they'll spend a lot of money in Georgia. We'll see how that goes. Will it work? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, it's going to be an interesting midterms because here's the thing. You can't do it you can't evaluate it in the timelines here right now in this time set. In January, when things are starting to roll even worse, then it's going to be worse. So that's where we're at. That's going to be worse. They have no answers for anything other than it's Biden's fault. Don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Money's pouring in, it's not. Costco would not be suing the Trump administration for terrorists if terrorists were working. And to all you assholes who are going, well, I'm going to shop at Sam's Club now. Fuck you. Costco's fine. They'll survive. They don't need you. And it's dumb. It's dumb because you've got to protect your God at all times. Which brings me, speaking of God, I want to bring up something as we come to an end. Thank you for your patience. As I said, my wife was sending the dates for the test she needs to move forward. I did have to address it. And I really, really appreciate all of you who are here. This will go up on, I think I can get on YouTube. I don't know. Or YouTube, I know, maybe, but not TikTok for some reason. It doesn't take it, but we'll go from there. But, yeah, Marsha Blackburn, Tennessee governor. Yeah, that would be, I think Bill Lee is bad. My God, at least Bill Lee has some kind of mind. That lady's crazy. She nuts. So good luck. But you see, there are some areas you can't save. And it's just going to go down the shithole. Kentucky has been dealing with Mitch McConnell for years. He's been ripping it off, and they keep sending him back to Congress, to the Senate. I mean, the Grim Reaper is going to remove him finally. So, which brings me, yeah, right, Byron Donalds. No. And I say this spacer only because, not because he's a Republican, because he's black. That ain't going to happen. No. No. I don't even think he gets the primary. Same with Ramaswamy. Yeah, Casey DeSantis. Yeah, got to keep it in the family, right? But yeah, I don't think it's the primary. Same with Ramaswamy. He's not getting on the primary because they forget that the color of their skin matters to them. They'll use you, but they're not going to give you any kind of, they're not going to give you a cookie. They'll promise you a cookie and they'll toss you crumbs because you're not white. Those are facts. That's facts. And as we're talking about Grim Reaper, I don't know if you guys saw this story, but apparently Trump's PAC and evangelical churches are raising money to help Trump get to heaven. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as Led Zeppelin said, they are buying a stairway to heaven for Trump. They figure if they can get money, and he's going out to all his people he drifts off. If you send them money, then they can put the money in projects to help make America great. And in that way, as he says in the email, I'm not here for a participation trophy. This will help me get to heaven. Evangelicals are a cult. Christians, no. Evangelicals are a fucking cult. Always will be a cult. Either they serve their pastors. You saw that act with that church in San Diego, where the pastor wanted to call ICE on someone parked because she spoke Spanish. Shit. Oh, he does have the nomination in the acting running like independence. That's why I hope for the race. Sherrod Brown is another story because he's APAC old type politician. He lost 3 points against Moreno, which should have been an easy race. But yeah, Sherrod Brown ran a shitty race. Ran a very bad race and deserved to lose. And he should just sit his ass down and shut the fuck up and help. But I would say this: if Ramaswamy is the nominee, then that's going. Amy Act is winning that because they ain't voting for him. They ain't voting. No, they ain't. No. Sorry, ain't happening. Not voting for him. No. I guarantee. No, they're not. They're not. So if Ohio goes to Democrats, that's fine, but it counts what she gets in the state house and state senate. If you still got Ohio has Republican supermajorities, she's just basically trying to keep a cap on the chaos. It's not only that, but you need to make sure that the Senate and the House turn Democrat or close enough that makes their lives miserable. That's important. You got to remember that. You can get a Democratic governor, but if everything else is totally Republican, you get nothing out of it. It doesn't work. That's what it is. But yeah, that's Trump's plan. Trump's plan, yeah, Ohio Democrats are a joke. They've given up. They're like Florida Democrats. They just don't have a spine. They don't. No one's convinced them that they can win, so they sit there and cry. Little bitches. Yeah, of course they do. But it's not going to help. That's the thing. Fine, go ahead. But eventually, but see, it counts what candidates, what would Michael X and Martin Luther King think of a current America? They would be fighting for America. They would be loud and proud and making life miserable for everyone. They would have. They made life miserable for the time, and if you think about it, they did it during Jim Crow. They would fight, and it would be ugly because they would say, F it. Martin Luther King peaceful, but Malcolm X would not. And I think it would have been very scary for these people right now because they wouldn't know how to fight them. They wouldn't, because it would be even more protests and everything. That's my take. Because just thinking of living in those times, no, I don't think King would have been in the government. I don't think he wanted that. I think he would have stayed outside to keep an eye on things, personally. I don't think he would go Reverend Warnock, the senator have here in Georgia. I don't think that's in his bill. Warnock is different. And he is the pastor at the church here in Georgia that King founded and was pastor for. I don't think he would be in the government. But, I mean, counting what had happened if they had lived, we'll see. I know Malcolm X would, he'd just been a shit stirrer, which would have been a good thing. But going back to Trump, just make it clear, Trump is shooting for one thing that could never happen. Remember, yeah, that's true. No one listens to Shirley Chosen back then. That's totally correct. Remember, there are no hearses with luggage racks, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to work. I know that. You know that. You can't buy your way into heaven. And you just have to be a good person. Donald Trump has never been a good person. Never. That's the one thing about, if you think about A Christmas Story, it's a fantasy to an extent that because of one night, one man who has done so much bad for all his life can get reformed over a few years afterwards. Maybe the spirits or those in charge of the afterlife would cut him some slack. But I think in the end, he still would have a chain. It wouldn't be a long ponderous chain. be a small chain that you can manage, because that much evil cannot be erased. You can try, but you can't buy your way out of it, because final judgment is final judgment. And simple as that. All right, guys, you've been extremely patient. Thank you for coming in, you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for standing pat while I work with my wife to the further testing. All of you guys that have given kind words about our situation, I appreciate it. Thank you for the advice too. Again, I do have a subscription service here. Substack and Binder 38 US. If you want to subscribe, that would be great. That would help us out immensely, because I think we'll pay for some co-pays. Also, I am Binder 38 US of YouTube. Check me out. And then on TikTok, I'm still RJ12764. Check it out there. You guys, thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for sitting through this. You have a good rest of the week, and more. Again, remember, there are more of us than there is of them. Be safe, everybody.